So it's been really fantastic. I'm Naga. I'm an angel investor. I do invest in social businesses. I'm glad to be in Northeast today in Guwahati. The last many years, been many visits to Northeast. I'm very happy to see a lot of amazing entrepreneurs working on local strength. That's what I always do. By my book about Back to Bharat in Search of Sustainable Future, I put a lot of stories about what are the great things happening in Northeast. So, for example, in Meghalaya, in East Garo Hills, so still people follow the matriarchal society. So today the whole world is looking about the women empowerment. Here in Northeast, thousands of years, somebody is making the women in charge of the whole place. So that is a lot to learn from here, because the whole world is now looking at climate change and inequality as a major problem. But Northeast has a solution to these problems. Similarly, if you look at Sikkim, this whole state is organic certified. Assam, we are here in Assam at the IM Kolkata's Innovation Park. And I see a lot of startups working on real problem. I met people working on Eri silk, Muga silk, and how do we market to the overseas. There is somebody working on tourism, because Northeast should be a high-end tourism. When I stayed in East Garo Hills, there was a 70-year-old man taught me how to make a rice wine. We had with the breakfast at home, right? So this is an experience. It should be, marketed as a high-end tourism, because this region should be pristine. It should be preserved. So for that, it has to be high-end tourism should happen. Similarly, there is in Manipur, in IM Bangalore, we have supported Elijah, who's our alumni, who picks a wild apple from Manipur. And now he's able to make a candy out of it and planning to ship it to UK. So this is what the potential of what Northeast holds. And I'm very happy to see many of these entrepreneurs are being directed towards supporting and identifying local strength and taking to the market. So I think it's a very, very interesting thing, because the development model for Northeast should be different than the rest of the country. I'm very, very happy that all of you in Northeast have maintained this pristine environment. I was joking last time when I was in Meghalaya to the Chief Minister that Northeast should be charging an oxygen tax to the rest of the country, which is needed to protect this region further. So this Back to Bharat, the name Bharat, my definition is about the 1 billion people we ignore. All of our discussion always around this 450 million who have internet access, who may speak English, but we are always, many entrepreneurs not solving the problem of the Bharat. Similarly, Bharat has a solution to many of the problems. Like I mentioned, in East Garo Hill, there is a matriarchal society is being followed. Some of the Northeastern states are organic certified. In the Joom cultivation, they follow in Meghalaya, which is about regenerative agriculture. So like this, there are very, very intriguing solutions that are there in Northeast that the rest of the world should know. Similarly, my journey is I lived in US and I came across this NGO called Association for India's Development. And, that kind of changed the way I look at India. Until then, you are a middle class, you make money, you go settle abroad. But now, with working with that NGO, I saw the thousands of problems in India, and really I was able to understand Bharat better. Then we were trying to look at how do we bring technology to solve some of these solutions. So when I came out back to India, and when I came out of the corporate life, I started spending more time in social businesses, what I call, about businesses who works on not only the profit, but helps with the people impact and well as the planet. So what I'm wearing today is a banana fiber shirt made in Guwahati. So banana is Asia's largest market is in Assam today. But I'm very glad Nitvi has figured out how to make a shirt out of the banana stem. So like this, there should be more and more innovation should be happening about taking the strength of Assam and Northeast to creating more and more products. I think I was talking to a person from Arunachal. They're looking this cardamom fiber to making coasters and stuff like that. So this is what my interest is about. Bring the glory back to India. The word Back to Bharat also the same thing. The idea to write the book happened when I was in Kerala. There's a place called Kapad. Kapad is a place Vasco da Gama landed in India in 1498. Standing in that shore, I was realizing that few hundred years back, what would have been here? Right? No internet, no telephone. Somebody risked their life thousands of miles in the sea risking to see what India is. And how do we bring that kind of a glory back, till the late 17th century, 23 contribution of GDP from India to the world GDP. So India was contributing 23% to the world GDP. So this is an opportunity for us looking back current problem what the world has. Will India, Bharat has solution. I'm very happy to find more solutions in Northeast because this is where nature is thriving and there is an opportunity to keep the sustainability going. So I also picked up the thread where if today there are US GDP is around 6 times more than India, but their per capita emission is 5.8 times more than India. That means that carbon is a new gold. Who's rich? Elon Musk makes $1 billion selling carbon credit. We have 9 million viewers in India. So what about their carbon credit? In East Gaurav Hills, I there in Balmoram, and there's a beautiful clean village. And the person living in that village is living like a resort, right? The house is amazingly built by him. So calculate his carbon, my carbon, somebody living in London and New York, and he's already rich. So this is an opportunity for us to relook at development, bring this wellness element. Simplicity should be celebrated, not looked down as a poor. Because today the wealthy children go to forest, do a camping for 1 week, without electricity, without anything. But people living in that for 365 days. So that is, they're living more sustainable. So that should be celebrated. That's where I'm very intrigued coming to Northeast, that it has quite a lot of solutions for the problem. The other thing I realized what I'm wearing is eerie, right? I've realized that in Northeast, this wool is not popular, but how you maintain the cold, because the eerie silk, this is a ahimsa silk. We are not killing the worm to get the silk. It's thick like a wool. It handles the cold as well. So these are all indigenous solutions have been developed in Northeast. The rest of the world should know. I think my book talks about some of these stories as well. I think as I was mentioning about, there has to be more focus about developing on our strength. So the strength what Northeast has, Bangalore may not have. So Bangalore is working on its own strength. So that means that Northeast strength is about the tourism, Northeast strength is agriculture, Northeast strength is crafts. So how do we take that forward? So one of this technology investment, what we're doing, it's going to work with the Northeast Handloom Commission, is about putting a device in every loom. So when somebody makes this eerie product, and there'll be a QR code here, and you can scan the QR code, it'll tell you it is made in Guwahati, it is made in Gaurav Hills, and this is the person who made it, this much carbon he saved it. So this is the way we have to relook at the development part, and the startups in Northeast should go deeper in analyzing about what the strength of Northeast. From there, start developing solutions, take this wonderful treasures that you have to the world, and invite the world to come and see you as well, but with the high-end tourism. So low-end tourism should not be allowed. Don't be apologetic, because when I was in East Gaurav Hill, there was no geyser, there was no heater, but a person who came with me who was asking for it, I said, if you want all this, just stay in Bangalore. Look at the people living in Balmoram. Let's live in the same way. They are living very peacefully in a sustainable way, that come here to experience how the sustainable living means. For that, you need to be high-end tourism, so that the person in the village should not be looked at as a poor. We should look him as that he's a preventer of climate change. Yeah, so the book is about my personal journey. So today, the world has two problems, climate change and inequality. UN has developed Sustainable Development Goals, 17 goals to be achieved by 2030. And it was supposed to be achieved in 2000. We did not. We got another 30 years and only 7 more years to go. The world has not even close in achieving this goal. So the reason is about individually we need to change. We are keep blaming on someone else. Someone will blame the corporate, someone will blame the developed countries. But each one of us should change the way we consume. What we wear, what we eat, where we live need to be changed. That is where I give that example of Northeast as a good, because many people in Northeast living very, very sustainably. That should be celebrated. I think that's what this book is about, individual social responsibility, that how each and every one of us can contribute. If you make a choice about what we buy and how we consume, 70% of the greenhouse effects can be reduced. So that is the book is talking about. It talks about my journey as well, that at 41, I was retired from a corporate life. I said, I'm done. So I want to do something really, serious and useful. That's why the last 11 years been great journey, traveling across 28 states, identifying some of these grassroots innovations across the country. I've put that as a travelogue in my book. And also I'm questioning about what's the future of development. You cannot measure the speed of the car with the speedometer alone. We need all these dials which tells you that car performance. Similarly, we cannot look at this country's performance with GDP. We need to look at the wellness part of it. That's another part I mentioned in the book about how many countries like New Zealand is trying to look at the wellness. Sikkim is the first state in India to start looking at the wellness as an aspect for development. So like this, Northeast has solutions for many of the current problems. I have documented many of those in my book. Absolutely, because they're living it. So everyone is just talking. You are living it. So you are the best people living in Northeast, all the entrepreneurs looking at, you have the great potential to relook at what development is. You have this pristine culture, pristine nature. How do we leverage this towards the development and ensure that you keep that, preserve it further? We can't develop this place like what happening in the southern part of the country, which will spoil the nature that we have. So you guys have done a great job. Looking at entrepreneurship in each and every element of it, what I mentioned about the carbon, simple living, high-end tourism, very, very exotic produce coming from Northeast in terms of crafts as well as in agriculture. Don't grow anything that grows in the plains. I was just coming from Shillong to Guwahati. Across the road, I saw pineapple. Everybody selling pineapple. Pineapple grows in Bangalore as well. So grow things which is only useful and grows only in Northeast. That's what Elijah in Manipur has done. He picked a wild apple which grows only in Manipur. It grows wildly. You just pick that up and he's now packing it and shipping it abroad. So similarly, like Manipur rice, which is very expensive today. Like that, identify produce only grows in this region. Get a GI tag, get a proper authenticity to this product, market that product outside. That's the best way to go forward. Yeah, so I'm glad. I think I was here a few years back when the Chief Minister launched Assam Startup, and many states in the Northeast have already done building up incubators. I met the bio incubator yesterday, the IAS officer Kirti, and we were talking about the similar thing about how do we have the biology based startups looking at the solutions in Northeast, like as an example, how to make a banana fiber, fabric from the banana stem. So similarly, those kind of innovations should happen. I'm very glad I was last year in IIT Guwahati, where they did a conclave about using technology for rural solutions. So like this, there is across the states, there are many initiatives that are happening towards startup. All the entrepreneurs, this is a great time to start in Northeast because you don't need to leave the place. Everything you need is available here. I am Kolkata is setting up this incubator here. They're working in Meghalaya, working in East Gaurav, Manipur, in Arunachal Pradesh as well. I was just meeting on the way to Shillong, from Shillong to Guwahati. I was stopping by the Chief Minister Youth Center there, which is run by Saurav Mandala. It's an NGO that we supported by IIM Bangalore. Now they are creating a space for the community to explore. The children are learning different technologies, different, appreciating what else is available to the rest of the world in their own village. So that gives them more exposure about what is happening. Use the exposure, connect back to the nature. So I was telling about, now about new ways of doing things. Then, there is more products is available. They said, what do you do with the pineapple? They said, I will make pineapple wine. That's really awesome. Make that, use these new ideas, new technologies, but connect with the nature, what is good in here, and do that. For example, in Tamil Nadu, there is an organization called Grama Moligai. It found out the state flower of Tamil Nadu, Gloria superba. The seed, now it's used in Siddha Ayurveda for many, many years. Recently, an Italian pharma company found a cancer treatment in the seed. Now the 1 kg of the seed is selling us 2,300 rupees. So this is what about the traditional wisdom is available with us. We need to marry that with the modern science so that we can leapfrog in terms of bringing the wealth to the people. So we don't need to look at them as a poverty, and it'll retain the youth in the villages as well, that they feel there is more livelihood opportunities are available for them.